Have you trapped yourself in an endless maze of shoulds, have-tos, must-dos that offer no escape from constantly feeling overwhelmed and stressed out? I hate to tell you, but much of this is self-imposed. Too many of us are anxious, overworked, setting unreasonable goals because we're operating under beliefs and values that undermine our happiness and well-being. We are caught up in this cycle that we'll keep telling ourselves will eventually lead to promotion, more money, more status, but at what cost? The reason for these conditions are many and varied. Everything from internal competition, a high level of uncertainty in the company or sector, to weak leaders who don't set or honor boundaries. Here are the 5 most common limiting beliefs, fears, and causes of anxiety, especially among leaders. Number 1, fear of failure. Number 2, imposter syndrome. Number 3, fear of conflict. Number 4, a fear of rejection or not being liked. And number 5, perfectionism. Any of these sound familiar? Stay tuned and let's learn more about how they show up and, importantly, how to mitigate, even eradicate them from your life. Hi, I'm Jenny Clark, a conscious leadership expert who spent 2 decades in executive recruiting and talent management. Having worked with giants like Google, Spencer Stuart, I discovered that the secret to transformative leadership lies in the 5 dimensions of conscious leadership. And I'm here to help you unlock your full potential. Join me on this channel as we embark on an honest and vulnerable journey together to become the kind of leader that genuinely inspires organizational transformation. I have a few ways you can get involved in this conscious community. First, I've created a free career map to help you uncover your next career move. Second, I've created exclusive content for you with a community of like-minded leaders. And lastly, I send out a free newsletter every week. To learn more, check out the description of this video. Russell was an ambitious sort. He played sports, went to school on sports scholarships, and was highly competitive on the rugby field, in school, and later in the workforce. His competitiveness allowed him to find his way into a prestigious university that opened the door to a job in a top investment bank where he had always wanted to work. Talk about a competitive environment. Why was Russell so competitive? His father had been an entrepreneur who had not found success and took it out on his family. He was negative, demoralizing, and verbally abusive to Russell and the family. Russell resented the way his father treated them, but loved him deep down and wanted to demonstrate his worthiness of his father's love by being successful. He worked his tail off, but in the pursuit of success, perfectionist tendencies appeared. Russell became obsessive about his work and making it to the next level. His work was being recognized and rewarded with promotions, but his ability to relate well to others, including most of those who reported to him and his family, was impaired by his obsessiveness and belief that success, as defined by money, title, and status, would lead to happiness. Russell exhibited all 5 of the most common limiting beliefs and fears. Due to a fear of making the wrong choice and overarching fear of failure, he delayed making decisions, seeking excessive amounts of information or consultation. He didn't trust his own opinions or insights. He was always looking over his shoulder and wondering who might be doing better than he was. Classic imposter syndrome. Deep down, he questioned if he was as competent as others perceived him to be. Russell had a latent fear of conflict, which his team interpreted as a lack of interest or support in and for them. For as driven as Russell was, he avoided asserting authority for fear of not being liked. He overlooked transgressions and didn't always support or respect his own or others' boundaries. Rather predictably, his perfectionist tendencies drove his reluctance to delegate, causing him to micromanage, which in turn prevented his team from further developing their skills. What Russell had failed to consider was what he wanted for himself. His belief that earning his father's admiration by being successful was causing increasing stress and anxiety that turned into fear of failure and paranoia that only fueled the angst. It was a downward spiral. Russell had a defining moment. When his father passed away, he was forced to confront the demons that had been haunting him all these years. He started working with a therapist, took a month leave from work, during which time he took up yoga and meditation practices. And importantly, he reconnected with his family. Upon returning to work, he adopted new behaviors that have improved his relationship with his team, his clients, and his own well-being. Here are 4 lessons to combat limiting beliefs, fears, and anxiety. Number 1, self-awareness and reflection. Be introspective. Take a step back. It can be difficult to discern the causes and address limiting beliefs, fears, and anxiety when you're in the thick of it. Consider working with a therapist or coach to identify and challenge your thinking. Understanding the root of these issues is the first step in overcoming them. Number 2, seek feedback. Regular, constructive feedback can give you reality checks and help you align your self-perception with how others actually see you. This can mitigate feelings associated with imposter syndrome. Number 3, develop a growth mindset. This means embracing mistakes and failures as learning opportunities. Adopting a growth mindset can help you see challenges as chances to improve rather than threats to your competence or authority. Number 4, delegate effectively. To combat perfectionism, practice delegating tasks by trusting team members and giving them room to learn and make mistakes. This not only reduces your workload, but also helps the team's development. Here's what I want you to take away. By addressing these internal barriers, you can eliminate the self-inflicted angst and become a happier person and a better leader. You can embrace your effectiveness, foster a more positive workforce, and lead your team towards greater success and engagement. There is a way out, and it starts with you. I know firsthand how taking that first step can be the catalyst for a life-changing transformation. I remember the moment I decided to harness my own strengths, and it made all the difference in my career. That's why I've created a career mapping tool just for you to help you uncover your unique competencies and leverage them to design your own career map. Take the first step towards your next level by clicking the link in the video description. And let's start this incredible journey together.